This video was brought to you by stntrading.eu. They enhance your trading experience by offering extremely fast automated trading services for both TF2 and CSGO. Check them out in the description below. Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a video that I think will help quite a lot of you guys out in terms of loadouts, and will especially help you increase the quality of some loadouts I see submitted to Fashion Fortress, so I'm able to show you guys more awesome loadouts in Fashion Fortress instead of these loadouts that are kind of like okay but could easily be fixed with just a few little things. So today I'm going to be covering a couple of things you could do to improve your loadout and make it better really easily. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about here isn't for everybody, and I know a lot of people can't actually afford it, but it helps improving your loadout a ton, and that is to get an unusual. As I said, I know a lot of people can't afford to get an unusual, or don't have the patience or whatever to trade up to one, so you can ignore that if you're one of those people. It's not a big deal if you don't have an unusual, but a lot of the time it makes you stand out more, it makes your loadout all kind of come together really nicely, and it just makes you stand out and look amazing compared to other people in the server who don't have one. Unusuals are also there to help complement a lot of loadouts that you have. For example, Blizzardy Storm or Frostbite work really well with wintry themed loadouts, which I see around a lot. But Blizzardy Storm wouldn't work well with a summery loadout or a loadout that isn't based around winter, but it would still look okay. For a summer set, maybe you could use something like Sunbeams, Morning Glory, something like that, but like it just depends on what type of theme you're going for. If you're going for a summer theme, Sunbeams and brighter effects would work really well, whereas winter themes, Frostbite and Blizzardy Storm work really well. There's so many different unusuals, like effects that could be added into the game or that are already in the game that will help complement a certain loadout. It's just amazing, and just having an unusual, no matter what it is, makes your loadout genuinely better. That is if it's a good looking one and it's not like super low tier nuts and bolts dreadnought type thing. But generally it just makes your loadout look more well thought up, more like time put into it and stuff like that, and generally just pulls the whole thing together really well. The next thing I would like to talk about is having your cosmetics work with each other. The amount of times I see people sending me loadouts that have stuff like the spacesuit for the pyro mixed with cosmetics that don't make any sense to go with that spacesuit for the pyro is just ridiculous. The amount of times I see cosmetics that just don't work together, constantly forced together because that's all the person has or they think it looks cool. It's just, no, please don't. If you want to use a specific cosmetic, like the Space Diver for the Pyro, you've got to make sure that the other cosmetics you're using actually looks good with it, or fits like a certain theme that you might be going for. If they don't do that, but you still want to use those cosmetics, you're going to have to change one and, you know, just do something else with your loadout. Because you can't have a Space Diver mixed with a bunch of other random stuff that just doesn't work, because that'll make your loadout look weird and probably not in a good way. There are so many hats in TF2 that you can easily make a bunch of different sets of cosmetics that work well together, and they have been designed to work well together. Not like something having a Bruiser's bandana in an athlete or school loadout for the scout. I don't think that would work that well. This is another reason the Fast Learner and the Troublemaker's Tussle Cap work so well together, and they're always used together. It's because they both work together. They're both for like kind of like school student like people for like loadouts for the scout, and that is why they're used together so much. Since there are so many hats in TF2 and so many different cosmetics and so many different styles of things, you should easily be able to find 3 cosmetics that work well together and actually complement each other really well. I'd recommend not using something like a Bruiser's bandana if you're trying to make like a student type look for the scout, because I don't know many students who wear bandanas to school because they look like they're about to kill everybody. This is one of the reasons the Troublemaker's Tussle Cap and the Fast Learner are always seen together. It's because they work well together and they complement each other really well. And it just works, and they pull each other together really well. You can easily add another cosmetic into that set that's not the Bonk Boy. Please don't add the Bonk Boy to a set like that. It looks weird, but it just, I don't know. Those 2 cosmetics work really well together, and that's a perfect example of the kind of things you should be looking for. Now, these next two things are optional, but if you decide to do it, then it will make your loadout look amazing, especially if you do this right. So the first thing is that you can use a theme for your loadouts. I know a lot of people who like to use winter themes for all of their classes, and that is awesome. They look really nice, and there's loads of things for each class that can be used to make a wintry loadout. Mainly because Smithmas is the only guaranteed update we get every year right now, but either way, that aside, a lot of winter items have been added into this game through various Smithmas updates, maybe even some other random updates during like the January, February months and stuff like that. There's loads of stuff to pick from with that. In general, themes actually help out with the last step as well, and they work really well to be able to actually tell which items are meant to go together and which items work well together. Like with the wintry loadouts, you wouldn't be using something that doesn't fit, because you'd easily be able to tell, wait, that's not something you'd wear during the winter, or that's not something you'd wear if it's really cold outside. No. So it's an easy way to tell what is going on, and an easy way to tell kind of what cosmetics work well together and what doesn't. Another really cool idea I like with the whole themes is having a different theme for every single class to kind of suit their personality, or just to go with the cosmetics that have been added into the game that you like. Something like a school student for the scout, a pyro for the demo man, a bodybuilder for the heavy, and like maybe a wintry set for the pyro, or something like that. I mean, that would mean that you aren't limited to one theme across all of your classes. I know a lot of people like to do that, but it means if you don't want to be limited to one like whole theme overall, you can have a different theme for every class, and it will work really well if you do it right. And the final thing I'm going to be talking about in this video is actually paint. And I see a lot of this, and honestly, I love this idea. And that is to have colored loadouts for all of your classes. Whether you go with a consistent color throughout all 9 classes, or just pick 9 different colors in TF2 that have been added and go with that. It works really well when you have everything color coordinated and looking amazing. If you want to be like an edgy scout main, you can have the scout lime green, maybe you can have soldier bright pink, pyro orange, or something else yellow, something like that. Just having a consistent color theme throughout a class with all of their cosmetics that can be painted works really well. And you would not believe how much better it makes your loadout look, even if you're just painting all items the same color. It makes you look like you've thought much more about this loadout and how everything will work together, and it just pulls it all together if they're all the same color, and I don't know, that just makes it look much better than it would if they're all just the plain colors that are already in TF2. I know a lot of people only really like one paint in the game. I know a lot of people just like Manco Orange, maybe people just like Australian Gold, and a lot of people just like Lime Green. And using that on every single class is also really good because it shows a level of consistency throughout all 9 classes and makes it look like you've really thought about every single loadout, even more so than just having different colors of every loadout. Because it just like shows that you've picked a style, you're being consistent with it, and it works really, really well. Because you've done it properly. You've painted every single item the same color, and that just kind of works. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know what you thought about these tips, and if you would like to see more of this type of stuff on my channel. I'd love to help you guys improve your loadouts and make you stand out in any server you go on. And also, I'd like to review some better loadouts actually in Fashion Fortress, because there are a lot that I get that can easily be improved with a few of these tips in this video. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other tips that you think should be shared, let me know in the comments as well. Maybe you guys can start up a discussion. If you're like talking about loadouts and stuff like that, people can give you tips on how to improve it, stuff like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all tomorrow with another one. Goodbye.
I walk with the elephants, rolling, rolling with elephants, rolling, rolling with elephants, rolling, rolling.